Bills Mafia! What's up, family? It's another big day in the world of Buffalo football, and I'm fired up to bring you this exclusive story. As always, we're here to break it all down like we're talking football over a beer at the tailgate. So settle in, and because this one has some spice, let me start by saying this. Our Buffalo Bills are not sitting still. Not for 1 second. This team is committed, fully locked in on improving every single week, every single practice, every single rep. The front office, the coaching staff, and most of all, the players are pushing to bring even better results in 2025. 5 straight AFC East titles? That's great, but this group is hungry for more. And if you're as pumped as I am for this journey we're on, do me a favor, smash that like button right now so we can keep growing this channel for Bills fans everywhere. And if you're new here, hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell so you never miss an update. All right, let's dive into it. It's official. The Buffalo Bills have owned the AFC East for half a decade. 24 marked our 5th straight division title. And honestly, it wasn't even close. The Bills finished with a winning record, the only team in the division to do so, while Miami came in second at just 8-9. And let's be real, we're used to the Dolphins being the biggest thorn in our side these last few years. From 2020 to 2023, they strung together 4 straight winning seasons. In 2023, they even hit 11-6. But now, the tides have shifted, and one major sports outlet is calling them out in a big way. According to Bleacher Report's Mo Moten, the Dolphins, Buffalo's top division threat in recent years, have become the biggest losers of the AFC East offseason. That's right, not the rebuilding Jets, not the post-Belichick Patriots. The Dolphins. Why? Because despite all their noise, they haven't closed the gap on the Buffalo Bills. If anything, it's gotten wider. Moton put it bluntly. Quote, if the Dolphins' goal is to close the gap on the Buffalo Bills, they have missed the mark so far. Their secondary is worse than last year's group, which won't help them against Josh Allen, who's 12-2, throwing for 37 touchdowns and 8 interceptions with a 66.3% completion rate against Miami. Let that sink in. Josh Allen has owned the Dolphins over the course of his career. 12-2, 37 TDs, 66.3% completion rate. That's pure dominance. And now, their defense is getting worse. So what's really going on in Miami? Let's break down the facts. LT Terran Armstead retired. A massive blow to their offensive line. S. Jevon Holland and DT Calais Campbell left in free agency, stripping leadership and production from both levels of the defense. CB Jalen Ramsey, rumored to be on the trade block. If Ramsey leaves, that secondary is going to look like Swiss cheese. And let me tell you something. You don't want to face Josh Allen with a soft, inexperienced secondary. That's not just asking for trouble. That's begging for a blowout. So, while we respect Miami, we always play them hard. There's a real chance the bigger threats to Buffalo's crown could come from elsewhere in 2025. Look, we're not sleeping on anyone. The Jets have a loaded defense and a hopefully healthy Aaron Rodgers. The Patriots? They're building from the ground up under new leadership. But as of right now, neither of those teams looks ready to dethrone the champs. If the Dolphins were supposed to be the contender, and now they're falling apart. Buffalo just widened the gap, and no one in the division is closing it, not unless something dramatic happens. Now let's pivot to the heart of this franchise, the engine that drives it all. Josh Allen. We all remember the doubts back in 2018, drafted out of Wyoming at number 7 overall. People said he was raw, said he was inaccurate, a project. But man, oh man, did the Bills coaching staff prove the doubters wrong. Josh Allen is now coming off his first NFL MVP award and was just named one of the top 20 dual-threat quarterbacks in NFL history by Bolivipunt. Let me repeat that. Of all time, the numbers back it up. 26,434 passing yards, 195 passing touchdowns, 442 rushing yards, 65 rushing touchdowns, 7 playoff wins, and a regular season record of 76-34. These aren't just good QB stats. These are franchise legend stats. Future Hall of Famer stats. And against Miami, the numbers go nuclear. 12-2, over 66% completions, 37 TDs. It's not just that Allen is great. It's that he gets better against the teams trying hardest to stop him. And here's the part we love the most. Josh Allen isn't just a cannon-arm quarterback. He's a one-man wrecking crew. His legs extend plays. His strength breaks tackles. His fearlessness makes defenders think twice. He is the prototype for the modern NFL quarterback, and the Bills built him from the ground up. It's one of the most successful quarterback development stories in NFL history, and it's still unfolding. So what does all this mean heading into 2025? The AFC East runs through Orchard Park. Period. While the Dolphins are spinning their wheels and shedding talent, the Bills are staying disciplined, focused, unified. Brandon Beane has kept the roster deep. Sean McDermott has kept the culture tight. And Josh Allen? He's just getting started. The national media might be sleeping on us again. They love to hype up the Jets. They love to romanticize Miami's speed. But the only team that's proven anything over the last 5 years is the Buffalo Bills. And 2025. That could be the year we take it all away. There's one name that's been buzzing all offseason. And it's not Josh Allen. It's not Stephon Diggs anymore. It's James Cook. Yup. Our dynamic running back is at the center of the Bills' contract headlines, and depending on how 2025 plays out, we could be watching one of the biggest financial decisions in franchise history unfold right before our eyes. Cook wants to get paid, and word around the league is that he's eyeing somewhere in the ballpark of $15 million per year. Let me say that again, $15 million annually. Now, that kind of price tag doesn't get thrown around lightly, especially in today's NFL, where running backs have to fight tooth and nail just to secure long-term deals. But with Cook, the debate gets interesting real quick. Let's give credit where it's due. James Cook has earned respect around the league with his growth, production, and consistency. He's not just a flashy name. He's been putting in work. Here's what we're talking about. Back-to-back 1,000-yard rushing seasons, 16 total touchdowns in 2024 Pro Bowl caliber performance in back-to-back seasons, an explosive weapon in both the run and pass game. This isn't a guy riding one hot season. This is a player who's showing up week after week with numbers that put him near the top tier of NFL running backs. And now he's heading into the final year of his rookie deal, and he wants to cash in. So let's look ahead, because this season might just determine the future of James Cook. And Buffalo Day ESPN's Mike Clay, one of the most respected fantasy and statistical analysts out there, dropped his 2025 projections. And here's what he thinks Cook will do. Canny $70. Rushing yards, Louisville. Rushing touchdowns, 37 receptions, 2082 receiving yards, 2 receiving touchdowns, solid numbers, right? That's another 1,300 plus total yard season and double-digit TDs again. If that happens, and remember, that's a projection, not a guarantee, then Cook would almost certainly be a Pro Bowler for the 3rd year in a row. So let me ask you, Bills Mafia, if James Cook puts up those stats in 2025, is that worth $15 million a year? Now, here's where it gets really interesting. Buffalo GM Brandon Beane has gone on record saying that just because Cook hasn't gotten his deal yet, that doesn't mean it won't happen within the next 12 months. That's a huge nugget right there, translation. The door is wide open for James Cook to earn his payday in Buffalo. But the Bills aren't going to jump the gun. Not yet. They want to see more. They want Cook to show he can deliver consistently, especially in big games and under pressure. Let's not forget, the playoffs are where the money really talks. Here's the thing, folks, and this is what makes this whole conversation tricky. The running back market has shifted dramatically in the past few years. Teams just aren't shelling out huge money for RBs like they used to. Even guys like Saquon Barkley and Josh Jacobs had to fight for decent deals. Dalvin Cook got cut. Ezekiel Elliott got cut. And even the best backs are now playing on shorter-term, team-friendly contracts. So does Cook buck the trend? Or do the Bills stay firm with their don't overpay for RBs philosophy? You've got to remember, Buffalo is built around Josh Allen's arm. The offense runs through the quarterback. And when you've already got a $250+ million QB, you have to be selective about where the rest of the money goes, especially when you've got to protect Allen, pay receivers, and maintain a top-tier defense. Let's talk about what the best-case scenario looks like for everyone. Cook balls out in 2025. He hits those projections or even exceeds them. He stays healthy. He shows up in primetime and playoff games, maybe even breaks a few game winners on national TV. The Bills see that, respect it, and offer him a multi-year extension that works for both sides. Maybe it's not the full 15 millimeters, but it's competitive. Something like 3 years, $36 to $39 million with decent guarantees and incentives. Cook gets paid. The team keeps its offensive identity stable. And the fans, we keep watching our homegrown back shine. But let's not pretend this is guaranteed. Running backs take hits, lots of them. One bad injury could derail the entire plan one down year, and the team could pivot in a totally different direction. If Cook doesn't produce in 2025, if he struggles with fumbles or injuries or simply doesn't deliver on third downs and red zone chances, that $15 million dream could disappear. And for the Bills, there's always the option of drafting a new RB, signing a cheaper free agent, or going committee style like many other teams. That's the harsh reality of today's NFL. So now I've got to ask you, Bills Mafia, do you agree that the Dolphins are the biggest losers of the offseason? Do you think any team in the AFC East is even close to catching the Bills in 2025? And most importantly, how much further can Josh Allen take this team? Can he lead us to that first Super Bowl? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I read every single one of them. Let's hear from the true heartbeat of this team. You, if you're loving the energy, the insight, and the Bills content every week, please give this video a like. It helps a ton. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications, so you're always plugged into the latest from Buffalo. This is our time, Mafia. Let's go chase greatness together. Go Bills. Let's ride.